Hey guys, it's Raven here, back with part 5 of our Metaphor ReFantazio walkthrough. So in the last episode, we came to the capital with the intent of taking down Luis, but that didn't really go to plan. So we now have to go into the cathedral and stop the necromancer from taking the king's scepter. So nothing more to do for us tonight except for go to bed, so I'll just go ahead and do that, and we will get started tomorrow.
Really? What exactly do you have against sleep?
I saw it all unfold. An ally became a friend, and he awakened to your power. But his path was cut short. It is all too easy to forget the fragility of life, until the tragedy of its loss. Yet, I feel his efforts were not in vain. He never turned from his fears and worries, unflinching to the last. Just as the lives of old heroes are passed down through their tales, so too will his heart. You have inherited the story of an unsung revolutionary and all its power.
The mag used by Grius has been inherited and returned to Will's soul.
Yet be warned, such power rarely awakens without trials. Even should you overcome them, your virtues will be tested, time and time again. You must carry on, honing your archetypes and heart with painful sincerity. That is the first step towards changing the world. I have faith in you.
Alright, so it gives us a hero's incense, which is nice. And these items, I think I've already mentioned this in a previous video, but these items just give you direct experience for an archetype without having to battle with it, so it is helpful for skipping grinding on some archetypes if that's not really something you're interested in. We will be making heavy use of this, not really in the early game, mostly to finish off things and get stuff ready for archetypes as we get later into it.
Forgive me. There's one more important thing. You can visit as long as you have the calm and time to open a book. But when threats lurk nearby, we may not always have the luxury of attention undivided. And danger is an inconvenience so often encountered, of course. As such. A smart-looking fellow, isn't he? There's a special magic igniter embedded in his collar, too. Much as I'd like to join you in person, I cannot. I can, however, send his consciousness in my place. If you see him in places of battle, do stop to pet him, won't you? You'll find him a most helpful companion. If you would survive the trials to come, think not only of the powers you know, but how they might be combined. Now, until we meet again.
What?
Has the crystal underground been shattered? Surely not this quickly. The soldiers couldn't possibly.
No matter.
Trivial, all of it. More importantly. A rather complicated sealing spell, but I see its workings. Breaking it will only be a matter of time. So close to the Hall of the Royal Scepter. The plan is near its fruition, and the calamity draws ever closer.
Time marches on, and the age of a new king draws nearer.
Sorry.
I apologize that we've commandeered your home.
Think nothing of it.
This is my fight too. You're going after that man in the cathedral, aren't you?
Yeah.
Surely before the day of calamity that he's warned about. I don't know what he's plotting, but I want nothing more than to foil it. We can't let tragedy that would rob this country of its future come to pass, not only for the prince, but for Grius as well.
I'd say...
One last matter. I am yet unused to this strange power. Once we take to the field again, I would look to another for orders. Will, you seem the best suited for the task. That is the role you've been serving thus far, yes?
It'll be all right.
No objections here. He's certainly gotten me out of plenty of nasty situations.
All good.
I agree. You up for that, Will? Alright.
Yeah.
Alright, got it. May you lead us to victory.
True.
I suppose that would make you our captain. A fitting title for a company's tactical authority, no?
For real.
Yes, but it sounds so formal. I don't know if I could get used to calling him that.
Now then.
As for when we return to the cathedral, yours is the final say, but we had better serve by prudence than haste.
Yeah.
Let's go make sure we're ready for this. Gallica, when it's time to go, you give us the word.
Got it.
Yeah, got it. Stay calm, everyone. You can do this.
Let's focus.
Alright, so we do have 10 days to take down the Necromancer. There are a couple of things that we want to take care of before we go into the cathedral itself, so we're not going to head straight there, but we are going to do this dungeon relatively quickly compared to how we're going to be doing most of the quests from here on out. So this is just giving you an informational session. If you've never played an Atlus game, you generally have overarching missions that you have a deadline for, and if you don't complete it by then it's a game over. So saving often is good, making multiple saves is good, and planning out if you have the desire to do so is also very helpful. So I do have a plan going forward, and I'll go ahead and get started on that right now. And this is just stating that certain activities that you take will take time, causing time to pass, going from day to night, and then to the next day, and so on.
Hey there!
Hey, you got a sec? I was thinking, isn't Grand Trad just huge? All this running around from end to end must be so tiring. Okay, and then we get the ability to ride on the blade.
We should go.
The first thing we need to do is head to the Grand Cathedral.
What's happened?
Well, we could do that, but I did want to point out a couple of things. First and foremost, if at any time you do decide to go to the cathedral, you can talk to any of your companions, or just bring up the Gallica menu and talk to supporters, or do supporters. Well,
That reminds me.
typically you're able to do that.
Come
Let's
to
see.
think of it.
I
That
guess
reminds me.
we're not able to do it just now. But usually going forward, you are able to just bring up the Gallica menu and she can direct you to one of them. But we can talk to either Hulkenberg or Stroll in order to get the quest started. But we're not doing that right now. The other thing to keep in mind is that these information brokers, everybody that has the little page above their head, are very useful, especially for our first playthrough. It does cost a tiny little bit of money, but they do give you information on strategies on how to beat bosses and also enemy weaknesses. Since I have all that information noted down, I'm not going to be making use of them, but there may be an achievement tied to it for memorandum entries if that's something that you're interested in, so make use of them at your leisure. And then we are going to take on this quest right here.
Can't see a single good option here.
Oh, what shall I do? I cannot buy the medicine that my sick daughter needs. Medicine? Is it that expensive? Yes, it is. Or, to put it more accurately, it costs more than what a Mustari in this city is capable of earning. My daughter won't be long for this world if I can't get my hands on this medicine. My heart aches to see her so racked by cough. What if I buy it?
Yeah!
Our mission is still our top priority, but it shouldn't take too much of our time to squeeze in a quick shopping trip and help them out.
You there?
What? Don't be ridiculous. We Mustari are treated poorly, but the people here hate the Elder even more. I've heard that all Elder are anathema to the Sanctus. The medicine can be purchased at a church, but I doubt they do business with you. Still, we have to try. Well, it's a respiratory medicine called the Breath of Fresh Air. They sell it at St. Firmus Church.
I hope it's not too much trouble.
I'm hesitant to get my hopes up, but should you somehow obtain it, please bring it to me.
If so...
St. Firmus Church should be on San Lameo Street. Think they'll sell us the medicine?
Let's give it a shot!
Okay, so fairly easy quest. You can see the rank of the mission based on how many diamonds that there are. Very easy. We just have to go and talk and buy something. We will get a rusted accessory, which we can get appraised at a shop to get a random item, and then it'll increase our tolerance, which is one of our, what do they call them? Kingly virtues, which we are going to need to progress later on in the story. So we will go ahead and do that. The quest also does have a deadline, so if you don't complete it in a certain amount of time, then you will automatically fail it. But we're gonna go take care of it right now, so no problem at all. And we'll just go ahead and use our little sword surfing and get over here.
Stop that at once! Hey!
Hey, did you hear that? That sounded like a cry of pain somewhere nearby. So all the way back in, I believe it was the second episode, I did mention that there would be a quest where you need a medicinal herb later on, and that is this quest right here. So we just talk over to this man in pain. Hey, do you have any medicinal herbs? My stomach is killing me. He's in pretty rough shape. A medicinal herb would go a long way, and you have 8 on hand. Want to give him one? Yeah, we'll share. Thank you.
You saved me.
It's feeling a bit better. You're a kind one. People normally pay no mind to parapists like me, but you really helped me. Here, take this as thanks. Okay, and we get a hero's incense. That was nice of you to make that man so happy. I hope he feels better. So yeah, definitely worth giving up a medicinal herb for that. And then next on the list, we are going to do a few spots of gold beetle hunting.
You've come at a good time.
Hey now, elder lad. That's a nice sword you got there. Relax, I'm no thief. But that sword says you're a mercenary, so I've got a little proposal for you. You must have picked up some mag from fighting monsters, yeah? If you're not using it, let me take it off your hands. By mag, I'm talking about the tiny maglet crystal shards. I buy them up on order of the Sanctus Church.
Don't miss your chance to
The
sell now.
accumulators out there gather it too, but I say they're inefficient. Anyway, what else would you use it for? Pretty sweet deal I'm offering, mate.
Isn't that...
Mag. That's the currency we use to study archetypes in academia. If you're really strapped for money, you could exchange mag here. You do need both though, so I'll leave it up to you. I definitely wouldn't recommend going crazy on selling your mag. Like Alika says, you do need mag to unlock archetypes and study them and do basically most of the functions in academia, and money is in far greater supply than mag is. So I don't know if I've ever used it, maybe once or twice, but generally I would say you're better off holding on to it. Like I mentioned, we do have a gold beetle here, so we'll pick this one up. We've got another one up in this shop over here. We just come over to this bag of spices and stick your hand into it. Get a gold beetle there.
What can I do?
And then we're gonna go ahead and run up here towards the recruitment center.
Awful. Just
Hey,
Is this it? What a curse.
My husband?
Ridiculous. Oh, hell.
and just come over here to the recruitment center.
The sacred Grand Cathedral.
And in the recruitment center over here, just behind this wall, there is another gold beetle. So one reason that we are going to be doing the main quest early on is that
Wait a second!
we aren't able to get access to the recruitment center quests until we've finished the cathedral. As Gallica says, we don't want any soldiers noticing us right now, so we aren't able to make use of any of those quests until we complete the Grand Cathedral. So that is the reason that we're going to be doing the main quests early. Generally, I think it's a good strategy to push it till later, because during a dungeon you're going to be unlocking new archetypes, you're going to be journeying through it, you're going to be running low on stuff, and your relationships and your items that you can get in the sort of off time really helps with progression in that sense. So the more you're able to squeeze in before you're forced to go into a dungeon, the more and better prepared you're going to be. But for this first dungeon, because there's so little available to us, we just have to do a few key things, and then we can definitely just blitz right for it, so that way we can open up the game a little bit. All right, so that was all that we were going to do in here. While we are in this section of the capital, there is another gentleman that I do want to talk to.
The sacred Grand Cathedral.
And that is going to be this far man over here.
The goal.
Disgusts me how useless the state army is. Seems like the debacle at the Grand Cathedral won't be resolved anytime soon. Agreed. As a former researcher, I'm glad to hear you say that. The crown theocracy crushes anything so much as mildly inconveniences them. All this prejudice against Elder like you is their doing too, you know. They must have some motive, if you ask me. It's good to speak with a kindred soul under the church's heel. Take this. I'd like you to have it as good luck. So he does give us a Magla item, so it's useful to come and grab that, especially early. And then we do also need to grab some red grass, which I think this gentleman sells right here.
Oh, there.
Yes.
Oh, there.
Okay, maybe we have to come here at night. You can buy from him, just not right now, I suppose. We already grabbed the Bedomi and the Clearwater. So another thing that you can do is you can pull up your map with the map key and basically fast travel to wherever you've been. So we do have some items to take care of on San Lameo Street, so we'll go ahead and go there. Okay.
What's happened?
First and foremost, we have a quest over here.
What on earth are you doing? Oh.
An elder? Sorry, would you mind keeping distance from... No, wait, are you perhaps the elder who's been frequenting the Hushed Honeybee Inn of late? You have business there?
Grand, innit?
So you'd not deny it? Oh, I'm jealous. You see, I work in a very high-end hotel as an apprentice cook, but so far, all I've been entrusted with are chores. My dream is to become a 5-star chef. To that end, I've been researching various cuisines of the city, and the Hushed Honeybee has caught my nose, if you will. I made the mistake of telling my superiors that I want to go, but they stopped me cold. If I learn to cook from a parapet, it'll damage our kitchen's reputation, they said.
Now what am I to do?
They told me if I even got caught setting foot in Sunshade Row, I'd be fired on the spot. I'm a Nydia, and he doesn't even trust me. It's the same tired prejudices. Nydia are liars and cheats, and so on. So if it's not too much trouble, could I ask for your help with something? I'd like you to go help out with the cooking at the Hushed Honeybee, and then report back to me on what it was like. The only catch is my employer has some high priority guests coming soon, so if possible, I'd like you to get back to me by June 19th.
Please, if there's anything
I'd like to
you
learn
can
about
do.
their ingredients, what the kitchen's like, and of course the taste of the food. Naturally, I'll make it worth your while. How does that sound? Sure, we can do that.
Thank you much.
Thank you so much. You're truly kind, agreeing to help out a stranger you've only just met. I finally know what it makes that kitchen tick.
Let's give it a shot.
Okay, so that's something that we have to do at night, as indicated by the little quest hook here. This will increase our wisdom, give us 3 more of the MP items, and give us a tiny little bit of chump change.
Come on.
Just like that, you're agreeing to help the guy? But I suppose Fabienne has helped us a lot, so it wouldn't hurt to pay her back by helping in the kitchen. From what I've heard, the Hushed Honeybee is usually really busy at night. So when the sun sets, let's ask Fabienne what we can do to help.
What on earth are you doing?
Okay, so after the quest, there is nothing further that we need. I'll check the tavern one more time, but I don't know if they are quite ready for us yet. Oh, here we go. This is the woman I was looking for. I'm quite sorry. You likely heard the people in this tavern speaking ill of others on the basis of their tribe. They give it opinions too freely, especially when there's few pints in them. Please take this as a token of apology. Do come back again if you'd like. So she gives you a soothing sweet bun, which is why I was trying to get it from her at the start, so I wouldn't have to buy it, but oh well, it's all good. Okay, and now first and foremost, what we need to be doing is increasing our wisdom. So a couple of things are locked behind wisdom. Buying things at the church, which is just over there, which we need to do for that quest, as well as purifying items there, and the quest that the Igniter saleswoman is going to give. You need to have wisdom as well. So
Whatever will I do?
what you can do is you can come over here to this bench and it will gain wisdom by spending time here. And there's nothing further that we need to do at this time. Why not take a breather? There's a nice view and important to stop and smell the roses, you know? Besides, watching how the people of Grand Trad live might broaden your horizons. If I spend some time gazing at the scenery, my wisdom should broaden. That's gonna take some time, so if you had other plans for the day, let's come back another time. So what's the plan? Care for a short break? And so whenever you come upon an activity that's going to take time, you'll get this little clock face that'll show you that it's going to change from day to night or vice versa. So let's take a break.
Okay?
All right, then it's decided.
Whoa.
The streets are packed, but at least it's not as huge a crowd as the royal funeral had. Sure are a bunch of nobles on the main street and around the Grand Cathedral. I see some Clamar, Rogue, and even some Ishkia. But if you head to the back streets, you'll see more Parapus. Guess that's what a class divide looks like. And then there's you, the only Elda in town. It's crazy how people say the most vile things right to your face. But don't let it get to me.
Listen.
It doesn't really bother me. That's very strong of you, but if anything does get under your skin, make sure you speak up. Let's not hide anything from each other, okay?
Well?
Personally, I don't see much difference among the tribes, but I bet a lot of people would disagree with me there. Gazing out at the sights of the capital with Gallica makes me feel like I've broadened my wisdom.
All right.
So just 2 points, but in the early game that's quite a bit, so we are getting 2 there. I think we just need 3 or 4 more and we'll get to level 2, which is where we need to be. I hear a voice.
Within thee.
Thy present glow comes from one of the splendid virtues already dwelling within thee.
That brilliance.
This glow serves thee best as kindling to inflame thy followers' trust in thee.
Now then.
Gather the royal virtues and fulfill thy destiny. Oh, yeah. They're called royal virtues. I think I called them crown virtues before, but that's what we need. You have 5 of them. You increase them in various ways, and there are certain like confidant ranks and activities that are gated behind having enough of each of the virtues. So like I said, it does help to plan these things out if you know what you're going for at any given time. Gallica and I headed home while we were discussing the people and stores we passed along the way. Okay. And when you go to a dungeon, when you come back at night, you'll just automatically go to bed. There's nothing else that you can do, but because we didn't today, we are able to do stuff. Back to the Hush Honeybee Inn. All right, so like I mentioned, we do need to buy some red grass. So we'll go ahead and go over to the Regolith Grand Cathedral, and we should be able to buy from that herb merchant now.
I'm just incredulous.
Hang on a minute, you.
So we'll make our way over to where the herb merchant was.
Hardly believe such a
Oh,
thing.
there.
Are you interested in my sharp herbs? Well, sorry to break it to you, but I can't sell it to you. Now, before you get the wrong idea,
Can hardly
where
believe
is...
such a thing.
I'm certain that I was able to buy from it before. Maybe it's from this shop over here.
Whoa!
Good man, you hungry at all? I'm proud of the food we sell. Our food's sure to pick you up when you're feeling off. Well, I'm still getting the hang of making all this, so truth be told, I haven't sold very much, but I figure to starve off your hunger at least. Well, isn't he an honest one? But it is true, fighting a lot takes a lot of energy, so it's probably wise to eat a good meal beforehand. He only has blue cheese. Where is my... Let me check my notes real quick. Maybe it's this Ishkia right here.
Dear me!
She's artist.
Please, if you might deign to help.
Vitality pendant. No, that's not what I am looking for. I didn't buy red grass, right? Let me just check. I think that was what I was missing. I think it's here. Yeah, we have pristine clear water and Bedomi. I need red grass. Give me just 1 second and I check on my notes. Okay, so I ended up having to reload. Unfortunately, there's a script in the game where you have to have talked to the informant outside before he'll come inside, and it's only inside that he sells the secret of the red grass shop, which is what we need. So, yeah. Unfortunately, I had to just replay that a little bit, so do as they say, not as I do. But this will allow us to go and buy that red grass. So let me go ahead and head out. We'll quickly go over to the Grand Cathedral and talk with the herb seller so that we can take advantage of his wares.
Hang on a minute, you. Just might not be worth a whit.
All right.
Oh, there. Believe such a thing.
Okay, Dino Grius. And that'll allow us to buy it. So, we are going to need several of them, so we might as well just buy 4 of them right now.
Thanks.
Can hardly believe.
And that should cover us for the near future. And then we also want to talk to this wandering student here. Oh, an elder with a fairy in tow, and none too educated by the looks of it. I'm a traveler, you see, as well as a student. I consider it my mission in life to impart what I've learned to others. You both ought to have some basic knowledge of this country. What say you to studying under my tutelage? Well, how rude. Though it wouldn't hurt to learn a thing or two. Do we listen to what he has to say? Let's hear what he's got.
If that's what you want.
Very well. Permit me to inform you of some of the fundamental aspects of this country. How can such fresh meat be available in the heart of a city? What magic is this? What igniter? Ah, the royal capital casts quite a spell indeed. Are you sure you're ready, then? Think of this as a marketplace, as a microcosm of the suzerain state Uchronia, of which Grand Trad is its capital. Take the fish being sold here, for example. They've been sent from Brylehaven, the captain of the Principality of Oceania, which is one of the countries annexed by Uchronia. Oceania is surrounded by the sea, and its capital, Brylehaven, is the biggest port city on the continent. Vegetables largely come from the Principality of Montario, another country annexed by Uchronia. Its capital is Altabury. Both countries, Oceania and Montario, lost the Annex War, and here we are. The war is a lengthy lecture in itself, so I'll save it for next time. For now, remember the names of those annexed countries, and we'll call it a job well done. Now, being here makes one somewhat peckish, does it not? You must be hungry given all this brain work you're likely unaccustomed to. Ah, I know, there's a food I like and I came across it on my travels. I forgot I'd bought some. I'll share one with you. The scholar taught me about the country and shared his favorite food with me. You do get a curative coney roast. And it does also give you a couple of memorandum entries, which, if you're going for that achievement, you will need.
Alright then.
But nothing further that we need to do out here, so I'll just go back to the Hushed Honeybee.
Please.
And we will speak with Fabienne.
Yeah.
We always get a flood of guests at night. Looks like you're another hectic one. If you're free, could you lend me a hand with preparing food? If you'd like to help out, feel free to use the kitchen as you please. And if you have the ingredients, I can show you how to make red grass roasted Bordeaux. Seems like Fabienne's having a hard time. She's done a lot for us, so the least we can do is return the favor and help her out when we can. If I help Fabienne prepare food, my tolerance should improve.
That reminds me.
Oh, that reminds me. There was someone who wanted to know what it's like helping out cooking here. We can knock out 2 birds with 1 stone. Should we help Fabienne out? Okay, and we do want to specifically make the red grass roasted Bordeaux, so we'll go ahead and do that one.
You're a big help.
Looks like you have all the right ingredients to make the red grass roasted Bordeaux. Let's get you prepped and into the kitchen, shall we?
Next up is...
Let's see here. A red grass roast, right? No problem. Fabienne taught us all the ins and outs of this recipe.
Oh, right!
How about we make a few tweaks to the dish while we're at it? So, for the best results, we're just going to stick to the recipe.
No.
I think we should stick to the original recipe.
Exactly!
That's fair. I suppose it is Fabienne's signature dish, and she was kind enough to teach us how to make it. Gallic and I poured our hearts into the preparation. A delicious aroma wafts through the room.
You did it!
Wow, you really did a really good job with this one. Are you secretly some kind of master chef, Will? Looks like I did a good job helping out. I feel my tolerance improved.
All right.
You do get 3 points of tolerance for just preparing it according to the recipe. Oh, right. Someone wanted to hear about the honeybee. I should visit the young man on Solomeo Street.
Time marches on, and the age of a new king draws nearer.
That necromancer mentioned a day of calamity. Pretty ominous, but what does it even mean? Luis's orders or not, 'twas the necromancer who committed those acts of brutality we witnessed at the funeral. He undoubtedly prepares more of the same.
Right.
Well, we're gonna have to put a stop to that corpse-robbing bastard before that happens. If the state army can't handle him, then it falls on us to do it. The day of calamity we were warned about is just 9 days away. We need to stop that necromancer before then.
What's happened?
Okay. So we will go ahead and report
All right.
our quest to the
Go.
gentleman on San Romeo. And the wisdom that we get on completing this should be enough to put us up to wisdom level 2, and that will further our goals. You perhaps helped out at the Hush Honeybee. Please tell me what it's like here. So the honeybee's cooking. I've recounted to him the full story of my time as a sous chef.
Grand, innit?
I see, so it's all in the preparation. If I'm hearing you right, it sounds as though Miss Fabienne is rather particular about the ingredients she uses. This red grass you mentioned. Not just anyone can get their hands on that, can they? I knew she was no ordinary innkeeper.
Now what am I to do?
As I believe I mentioned, the place I work serves high-class clientele, and the head chef, not to mention the customers, put too much emphasis on tribe. Just being a Nydia, I get cold shoulder from Clamar and rogue nobles in particular, to be expected in society as it stands today.
What in the blazes?
Chef doesn't want people like that to even see me holding a knife. Probably why he sticks me with all the busy work and chores. I suppose I should be grateful I have a job at all, honestly. But still, there are a lot of days when I question why I'm putting up with any of this. So I just wanted confirmation of the simple fact I think I've always known to be true, that the skill of a chef has nothing to do with one's tribe. Hearing about the Hush Honeybee has renewed my inspiration to keep cooking. I don't know where it'll take me, but I'm ready to throw myself into the proverbial frying pan. Oh, and of course, I need to thank you properly for what you've done. Here, take this as a token of my gratitude.
Mission accomplished.
Alright. So we do get that tiny little bit of temp change. And 4 wisdom, which is just enough to bring us to level 2 wisdom informed.
Wisdom.
Is one of the virtues a ruler must possess. If thou aspire to true sovereignty, fill thyself with knowledge to discern truth from falsehood.
Why, that's...
A conqueror needs that precious kindling which a follower's passions may be inflamed. For better or worse, we've learned a lot about this country's attitudes toward different tribes. Who knew prejudice could be extended to cooking? But it's heartening to know people are working to make it better, so we've got to keep our own fight too.
What on earth are you doing?
Alright. So with that, we can now go over to the church and complete our quest for the Mustari by buying the medicine and also purifying 1 or 2 of the items that we've gotten on our journey thus far.
Closure.
I've seen you're an elder. I'll not turn you away if you've come here with a purpose. However, I do hope you will keep it brief.
Excuse me.
Thanks, I think. Anyway, we heard you sell a type of medicine called the Breath of Fresh Air here. Breath of fresh air, you say? We typically only make that particular remedy available to those who have been accepted by the light of sanctism. But let it be known that we practice generosity. By special exception for an elder, you may demonstrate your sincerity by purchasing it for 500 reeve. For an elder? You're raising the price because of his tribe? Surely you would not expect your vulgar tribe to stand as equals among the blessed. Our teachings forbid it, thus I ask you to demonstrate your sincerity. Bear in mind, to even sell, that is, give them to you, is taboo. I'd appreciate a show of gratitude more than words of protest.
How may I share God's blessing?
Now, how may I
Let us
assist?
share our faith.
Interesting. You may be an elder, but it seems you understand something of sanctism. If you carry armaments with hidden potential, I can purify them for you. So, you need to have level 2 wisdom, and that will unlock that special dialogue. So we will go ahead and buy the Breath of Fresh Air. It's going to cost us 500. That's just fine. And then we will purify. We have enough to do both. So we will purify the Foreman's Jacket, which is going to basically double its defense and give us a tiny bit more evasion, which is going to be nice for Stroll. And then we will purify the Dragon's Judgment, which is going to be a decent increase in attack power, and also make it to where his normal attacks have essentially fire on his normal attacks, which is nice. Okay. And that is all that we were doing here, so go ahead and take it back. Before we go back to Sunshade Row, though, we do want to go ahead and speak to the Igniter saleswoman.
You.
I remember you, Elder. Seems I was right about you not being a local. I've heard the rumors. My sources suggest you and Grius were working together. Huh? How did you know that? I own a magic igniter shop, and I do have some sway with the residents of Sunshade Row. But you needn't worry. I've no intention of turning you in. In exchange for my discretion, though, for lack of a better word, would you be willing to do a job for me?
What?
What job?
Yes.
A dangerous one, shall we say. I imagine a colleague of Grius would likely have the skill and discretion required. However, perhaps I'd better look elsewhere. I didn't realize how young you are on first glance. I prefer to work with someone who already understands how the world works to some degree. Too much risk otherwise. Don't want your death on my conscience. Okay. So because we have 2 wisdom, we get this special item. Otherwise, it would be these 2 that we would not be able to convince her with. At least describe the job. If I put my overflowing wisdom on display, I'll be able to stand my ground with people as powerful as this woman.
Yes.
Well, I suppose you really are more than you seem. I certainly can't imagine Grius would have worked with any normal child. Glad to hear it, though I'd like to see what you're made of.
Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Brigitte. I run this shop and manage trade of magic igniters. This is your first time in Grand Trad, you mentioned. Then, what do you think of magic igniters?
I don't really know. We only got to use ours like a couple of times.
I don't know.
Haven't had much to do with them yourself, then? Well, I suppose that's more convenient for me. All right, next. Are you good at keeping secrets?
Maybe a little bit of a cheeky ass.
I'm afraid that's a secret.
Are you trying to be funny? At least you're not short on nerve. Then, I have one last question. Do you believe in God?
Everyone's faith is their own.
Not the one everyone else does. I have my own beliefs.
In other words, not the God of sanctism. Well, that's enough for me. Yes, I think there's potential in you. I'd like to ask you to handle an extermination mission. You're fit for the task. The fact is, our trade route for Ignitus has been, shall we say, compromised. A local monster's apparently made the place its feeding grounds. Evidence suggests its actual nest is near the place I personally checked out. I want you to go there, find it, and exterminate it.
Wait, hold on just a moment. You're asking us to handle something so important? Is that even okay?
I'm asking you precisely because it's so important. There are reasons I'd rather not bring this to the guard. I usually prefer discretion with these sorts of things anyway. Especially with groups like them. But if Grius trusts you, then I certainly can.
How are you connected with Grius?
I hardly think that bears discussion right now.
What do you think? It does seem like she could use the help, but
You will be compensated, of course, and generously. There's also the option of discounts on my stock, if that appeals. Additionally, rumor has it there's even treasure to be found at the monster nest. I'd say the potential rewards are a fair match for the risk.
It's a strange request, but someone connected to Grius probably wouldn't try to trick us. Doesn't seem like a bad deal between the compensation and the treasure.
I hope you've no objections to the job.
All right.
Understood.
Thank you. You're bound for Belega Corridor. It's only a short distance away from here.
This one's important.
So we'll get a courage increase, a decent amount of money for this stage in the game, and a pious igniter, which, if I'm not mistaken, allows you to cast a light skill with anybody that has it equipped, which can be useful in the cathedral.
It's here. Just think of the goodies that might be hiding inside. And right there's a labyrinth.
Okay, so it will take us a day to reach there.
Here's where we are now.
And
We'll
the
face danger.
enemies in this ruin
face danger.
are a little bit more difficult than the enemies, at least at the start of the cathedral. So we're going to take the cathedral in two parts. We'll do the first part of the
Here's where we
cathedral
are now.
first,
This
then
place.
complete this side quest, and then
Here's
come
where we
back
are
to
now.
finish the main quest.
If you don't have a way there, I'll lend you my carriage. Not the kind of trip you'll want to make on foot. You can leave the city through the large gate south of the central street. Don't die out there now.
The monster at Belega Corridor, right? I bet an informant would know something about it. Hunting outside the city is a good idea, but don't forget your mission is in Grand Cathedral. To get there, you can exit from the large south gate, or speak with me and I'll call for you a carriage. Okay, so,
All right.
as I mentioned, we're going to go ahead and do the cathedral first. But before we do that, we are going to grab some new weapons for ourselves and our party members. Epic weapons are the ones that provide the greatest impact on battle in the early game, especially if you're trying to avoid taking damage at all. So definitely buy them over armor, and at this stage in the game you're not going to have enough money to buy both. We may not even have enough money to fully outfit our party members, so... Okay, so what we can do is we can... Oh, we don't have the rusted accessory yet, so let's just go ahead and sell that to give us a bit more leeway. We definitely don't have enough money for the golden epi, but we aren't going to be using Sneaker on our main character. We are, in fact, going to be using the healer on him. So go ahead and buy one of those.
Yeah.
And then for Hulkenberg, as odd as it sounds, we're going to change her from a knight into a mage. One of her evolutions down the line is to be a magic knight, and you do have to have rank 10, and having a mage in this dungeon is very useful. So we'll go ahead and grab a kindling staff. And then finally, we don't need to buy the greatsword because the sword that we got from the dragon is better than that. But we are going to get a archetype that can use fist weapons, so we'll go ahead and buy that. Oh, definitely not wanting to buy 3. And since we have got the extra cash, we'll go ahead and buy the lance for when Hulkenberg is a knight. So that's just fine. Like I said, we're not going to be using the Seeker for a little while, so we don't have to worry about gathering either of these. So we just have a tiny little bit of money left in reserve. Not going to be enough to make much of a difference when it comes to buying armor, so we'll just go ahead and forego that. And
What now?
let's go speak with our party members and head over to the cathedral.
You're not getting off the hook for that.
Unstinking believable.
You've been a lifesaver.
After we turn in this quest.
You there?
My dear fellow, is that the breath of fresh air? Did you get that for me? Of course.
Thank you so very much.
Oh, praise be. I give you the deepest of thanks. With this, my daughter can be cured. I apologize for having so little faith in you. People have been quite anxious since the incident at Grand Cathedral, so the prices on everything have increased. And on top of that, discrimination against the Mustari and other minor tribes have only worsened. Hardly any shops will serve me. But I digress. Allow me to return the favor.
Hey, no!
It really seems worthy of praise to do something so simple as purchase medicine. It's wrong that this problem exists within the country in the first place.
You there?
What you did means the world to me. Thank you, truly, for saving my daughter's life. Please, you must take this, a token of my gratitude.
Mission accomplished!
Alright, so we get a rusted accessory, which was what I was trying to examine earlier, and then it does increase our tolerance as well.
All right.
4 points. Have to get quite a few more points in tolerance than wisdom to level it up at the start, so got a good leg up on that. Accessory? I'm sorry, but what does it do? It's so rusty I can't tell what it is. I've heard you can get it appraised at a shop. Anywhere will do. I'm afraid I don't know more about it, as none of those places would serve me.
No way.
For crying out loud, they won't even let you shop? Thank you, though. We should get this looked at, Will.
Bye-bye now.
Excuse me, but I must now administer the medicine to my daughter. Thank you again, and may our divine relic bless this kind young man. Alright, so might as well just run quickly over to the magic shop and
You've been a lifesaver.
get it started by explaining how these appraisal items work. You can get it done at either the armor shop or the weapon shop, so we'll just go here because it's a little bit closer.
Come to think of it. Okay.
And what you can do, whenever you enter the building, you do get an autosave.
Hello there.
The way that these appraisal items work is that they pull from a specific pool depending on the adjective that is used to describe it. So, rusted accessory, let me just check my notes here, can give you a squire's bracelet, a witch's earring, a guard's talisman, a courier's anklet, and a gambler's jewel, which is basically just +2 to a stat, if I remember correctly. It doesn't super matter. These accessories aren't going to be, they're quickly going to be phased out, so I'm not going to worry about save scumming this one. We do get a witch's earring, which is going to be nice for Hulkenberg when we make her a mage, because she'll be a little bit more proficient at it. So I'll just go ahead and equip that on her before I forget, because she has nothing that is useful right now anyway. We'll just go switch over to newest, then we'll give her that witch's earring. All right. And now let's quickly run back to our party mates and head off to the cathedral.
You're not getting off the hook for that.
You've been a lifesaver.
No, how did I wind up?
Hey, Stroll. I can't... You know, worrying about it won't solve anything, but I can't stop thinking about Grius. Every time I see Maria's room or Fabienne's face, I just can't shake the guilt. I feel the same way. I admit I'm relieved to hear you say it. We were only beside him a short time, but we risked our lives together. What we learned was invaluable. Knowing that risk, he still became our ally, still took us under his wing. Perhaps I saw something of my late father in him. He was a man who put family first and country a close second. Though they look nothing alike.
Got it.
Still, I mustn't dwell on it. Grius wouldn't want us to focus on what's ahead. He would want it to be right.
What's happened?
Alright. Yeah, let's go.
All right.
Somehow I knew it would be. Let's go inform Hulkenberg.
Hey,
Oh, before I forget, here's this Ariadne's thread for you. If you ever need to return to the entrance in a flash, this is a must-have. You never know when you'll find one, you never know when you find yourself in a tight spot, so don't go exploring without one. You can pick them up at general stores. So that'll become useful later when we start farming for various things. But let's just go ahead and get in.
what do you think?
Let's go.
Let us hurry.
Still signs of Magla throughout, but at least this is their attempt to At least their attempt to ambush us failed. Cess,
Hey,
we don't have the opportunity to be feeling sorry. We've got to take the opportunity to do what we can, and to make sure that Graeus' death wasn't in vain.
Yes.
I know. Let us proceed.
We're off.
Alright, so let's go ahead and rush forward. The doors on the sides are still locked, so we will table that for a later date. And it does look like that Parapus we talked to earlier is here.
Ow! Oh, shit. What's going on here? Did someone get here before us? Of all the places.
You lot thought it was safe to come this way. This really isn't the time to pay your respects. No easy way to say it, but this place, I don't know, it ain't right. There's dead folk shambling about, and that's after I cleaned house. Don't say I didn't warn you, eh? I'm off then.
Wait, is it your intention to enter the Grand Cathedral?
How do you know it connects down here?
because we're the ones who cleared the path. But I assume we'll meet more resistance inside. I beg your pardon, but are you not injured? Shouldn't you consider turning back?
Oh, I'm sorry, boss. Did I need your permission? I've got my own reasons.
At least stop and treat your wounds.
At the very least, you need to stop and get those wounds treated.
I can't do that. My friend's trapped in there. And the soldier that went in to rescue her hasn't come back. I can't just sit and do nothing.
We'll rescue her.
Then we will rescue her.
Hey, wait! Before you go making promises like that...
No, now that we know about this, we must act to save these people.
What's your game exactly?
We simply won't stand by and let someone in your condition walk into peril.
I don't believe you. You're hiding something. Some other reason you're willing to help a Parapus.
Believe what you like, but we're going to the top of the cathedral regardless. Is it not the wiser course to let us do as we've promised than to risk your life charging ahead?
Fine. Even I can see sense in that. My friend's a Parapus girl, about my age, with a yellow flower pin in her black hair. You'll know her when you see her. If you bring her back safe, I'll repay you. I swear.
This one's important.
Oh, come on.
Alright, so we can go ahead and... excuse me. We can go ahead and regress. Let's go through the main doors here. And let's get after it.
There they are.
So we do have a couple of weak enemies here that's pretty easy to take care of. And we'll head into the next area.
All right.
Getting in was easier than I thought it'd be. It doesn't look like there's anyone patrolling the area. Strange. I expected less resistance this way, but not this. Have they not enough soldiers?
Oh well.
In any case, it works out better for us. Capturing that necromancer isn't our only goal here anymore. Yeah, we need to save the hostages while the security still lacks. Let's check out what's inside.
Strange.
Okay. So this right here is a special enemy called an
Right
Elementa.
there.
If you are able to take it out, it is worth quite a bit of mag and experience. The blue ones are... Let me see on my notes here. I think they're weak to fire. Yeah, they're weak to fire, which Stroll has with his basic attacks right now. So we may be able to deal with it. I'm not 100% certain if we'll be able to kill it. These things don't attack you, they just run away, but we'll see if we can't make use of it. So you can see even his basic attacks are showing weak.
Act fast! Somebody win this!
Now get ready.
By this power.
And
Is there another way? Charging in.
we'll just go ahead and attack basic
I can't afford to hold back.
and use...
Deal!
Hit your weak point.
Observe the
Yeah,
enemy.
I don't think we're gonna be able to. Did she get a crit? Nice,
Let's
very
see,
nice.
Fight him, Hulkenberg.
Yeah, no.
Try some of this!
If we had a mage, we would have been able to take it out, but... Oh, and it did recover from the stun, too. That's unfortunate.
Remain steadfast.
If it had stayed stunned, then we probably could have taken it out next round, but...
That was brilliant.
Ooh, I didn't realize that this was a proper enemy.
Let's give this all we've got.
This is our chance.
Okay, so we do have some mad watchdogs here. And these watchdogs are weak to... fire and ice. So...
Forward!
We probably should have switched to our... probably should have switched Hulk and Break to a mage before coming in here, but it should be fine.
I shall fight. Try some of this!
Thrall should be able to take care of them pretty easily, and we can just make sure that we are only dealing with stunned enemies. So we should be able to take them out no sweat. Okay, so Stroll will take out this one. And these enemies aren't too strong, so even just taking them out with basic attacks are pretty easy as long as you play around the stun mechanics.
Good. 'Tis done.
I think that's all of them.
Okay, so we got an item here. The other side, we're gonna have to go around to get that chest. Go ahead and go in here.
Hey!
There's an item and a Magla Hollow.
This place.
Okay.
If so.
We have their Magla Hollow here, and it gives you the tutorial about using Magla Hollows as a way that you can fast travel. But I'm going to go ahead and end the episode off here. We are just about at time, and I want to make a more concrete plan going through the dungeon, because obviously I got a little surprise there going forward at the start. But thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.